has found a way back into the world. It looks completely abandoned.
As it is meant to. A spell of concealment lies over this place, which means our enemy is not yet ready to reveal himself. He has not regained his full strength.
Stotana, Iepulvas, Kaninia, Kanini Satadu Raksha!
I never told them. They tried to make me, but I never said a word. Have you kept them safe?
Hello again everyone, and welcome to episode 18 in my continuing series of video scenario guides, a special edition this time around. As I stated at the end of episode 17, this episode was meant to address Logren's Forge. However, with the addition of 2 new scenarios as part of the current live event, I decided to skip the scenario everyone loves to hate and instead devote my efforts to discussing fresh battlegrounds. A quick word for the record. I've always loved the live event aspect of Warhammer Online. I mean, most of them were always tended to be fun, and worthwhile. So I appreciate the devs initiating this current celebration extravaganza, particularly in regard to the new content. There have been a couple of threads running on the forums recently concerning how to increase activity in regard to both the 6v6 community and overall RVR. Well, before you can increase the number of people participating in either, you need to increase the number of people, and new content tends to accomplish just that, at least for a time. Scenarios today were popping incessantly and tended to be great fun, and I of course support that and hope the trend continues. But let's get to it. First, we'll start off as the norm has become. We'll take a look at these play and scoring mechanics, and I gleaned this information simply from watching the various videos I recorded. So College of Corruption is a 12-on-12 fight for dominance occurring within the Bright Wizard Academy for control of the Squishy core. And I'm going to pronounce it squishy as I go along here because, I'm guessing the Q is silent and it's probably just ashy. I don't know. I don't follow the lore that closely, but either way, squishy is easier. I think it sounds better. But from watching the video, it appears your team gains an initial 30 points for capturing the core, and then 9 additional points every 5 seconds once you've done so. Kills are worth 4 points each, and I've yet to see a dominating message. Beginning at the beginning, which is always a good place to start, what is probably the most important point I can make to discuss tactics in this scenario is how to leave the spawn point when the scenario begins. So our first video, of course, will deal with that. Alright, so here we are. We're at the beginning of the scenario, and there are a number of ways out of the spawn point to begin, but you want to do this. You want to go right. Now watch. Okay, you go right, you hit the right spawn point, you keep moving, and there you are, right in the middle of the flag. Now this is, as I said, critically important in this scenario. So I slowed it down. I'm going to run it again. Now one thing to notice here is I get out, laying right in the middle of the steps in front of the destruction entrance point. But where's everybody else? Everybody else hit right. Where do they go? Alright, what they did is they went up to the gate, stopped, clicked on it. That moved them out to that balcony that you saw back there, and thus they didn't get to the flag like the rest of us, or Well, me and the Slayer. So you have to keep moving. You start moving, you click it on the move, and it just boots you right out to the steps, right up to the flag. And you do that, you can get out of your spawn point, and you can get to the squishy core, as it's called. You can get to the squishy core in less than 5 seconds. All right. Now, as in Maw of Madness, Calidor Woods, once you get out to the flag, you want to try to hug it. And the same mechanics, as I've been watching the video, what it clearly appears to me is that the same mechanics, and there's evidence of this later that I stuck in here, are in play in Calidor Woods. And that is, the flag will react to the presence of players over time. Given, what I mean specifically by that is that same thing I said in Calidor Woods. If Destro has 4 players at the flag and Order has 7, eventually Order will lock the flag. Even if those numbers don't change at all. And there it goes. You just saw it. There were a number of destruction players around the flag when we got that particular lock. So we got the 30-point jump, and I do have to make a correction here from something I said in the introduction. This scenario just came out yesterday. At the time I'm making this video, this scenario was just introduced yesterday. And I played a number of times. And so I was just watching the video trying to pick up on all the scoring mechanics. And one thing I noticed as I was editing the video here is that the kill count, you do get more than 4 points per kill. You actually get 13. 13 points per kill. So that, I'll talk about it a little bit later, but that introduces a whole new strategy to playing this particular scenario, as opposed to practically any other, with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, any other in the rotation. And for those who may be wondering, I did ask on the forums if these 2 scenarios, this one and Reichland Hills, are going to stay in the rotation after the event is over, and the answer I got was yes. So that's good news. Good new content is always a plus, in my opinion. So I'm glad that these are going to stay active. Okay, I'm not going to let this video segment play out much longer. Just enough to show that the points are adding up rather quickly. There's 12 minutes, 24 seconds left in the scenario at this moment. So it not going to take long. It doesn't take long to win these, if you can accomplish the primary goal of capturing the squishy core and killing a few of your opponents. The points tend to add up fast. All right, let's look at it from the other side of the house. Now here we go from the spawn point, me and the Archmage, and the Archmage stopped on the balcony. So the lesson there is, don't stop on the balcony. Keep moving and get through to the flag. Okay, watch destruction during this segment. They are doing exactly that. This was, I don't know, probably pre-made, I guess, but either way, they got out here, got to the flag, established domination, and they're going to capture it rather quickly. Now, I put the words on the screen here, the verbiage about the kill correction total. 13 points as opposed to 4, but I mentioned that earlier. So anyway, as you can see, destruction only has 26. Well, okay, they just captured the flag, and they cleared out the middle. And this is an illustration of what I was talking about earlier. They had more guys in there than we did, so it flipped the flag for them. Now that will win them this scenario, and it will again go rather quickly from this point on. See, they're already up over 100 points. Alright, so I'm going to come out of this one. Okay, so I'm going to move away from that point, and I want to use some of the, this is the same scenario, but I want to use the footage to illustrate something else that's kind of unique to College of Corruption. Now, for those of us who do not have punts, only have general knockbacks, College of Corruption is a knockback friendly scenario. And I slowed this down to show that with the 2 lava pits down there, if you set up your positioning correctly, you can have a little fun with this. Unlike Tor Anarok, where you can just sort of punt guys in any direction, and they have a 50% chance of winding up in the lava. Here you have to do it with a bit more surgical precision. So even though I'm banging on this witch elf, as I played this in my mind, as I was playing the scenario, I was lining up the knockback on this Magus who's standing there. So you can see it right there. Boom. So he goes flying right off into the lava, and you know, that was a joy to behold. So that is a trick that you can play here. Your positioning is very important in this scenario, and for those of us with just simple knockbacks, you can still have they're a lot more effective here than they are in other places. You can have a lot of fun with them. Okay, there you can see the 13-point jump. I got a kill on it, a death blow on it, working. You know, it clearly started at 13 points. There's another one. Okay, I'm leaving this particular segment of video in just to illustrate again the point progression, in this case the destruction point progression, and how generally speaking, and compared to many of the other scenarios that are on the rotation, how quickly this is sort of happening. Okay, there's 11 minutes 50 seconds left in the scenario, and destruction is already up over 440 points. So there's not much left for us to do as order in this SC except try to get a couple kills. You know, we take out that Magus. This Doc here, we're going to chase him around a little bit, and eventually he plays right into our hands by running over to the steps. But that's, you know, other than that, I'm trying to get a couple kills. At this point in the scenario, we're kind of impotent. We're not going to accomplish much. Destruction's going to win kind of handily. And you see the message there, attack the squishy core. I suppose that was originally put in just to let you know that you didn't control the thing. But there you see it. Destruction got a 500-point win out of that one. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of our first review. And I want to make this point strongly again. Go right, keep moving, you know, hit the transition wall, click on it, keep moving, and jump out and get to the flag. And if you keep moving, you can get there in less than 5 seconds. And when I say you, I mean every fracking player in the scenario. Hit that right exit, keep moving, and get to the flag. There's no reason to stop anywhere until you get to the flag, because if you hesitate, you die. There's very little room for error, and there's absolutely no forgiveness. And that's, I'm not talking about, you know, the opposition you're going to be up against. I'm talking about the mechanics of the scenario itself. You know, if you don't exercise that initial option to get out there, you've shot yourself in the foot. And the College of Corruption is unforgiving, because the points add up so quickly that you really don't have time to make a comeback win in the vast majority of cases. Okay, I illustrated that. Watch your positioning, seize your opportunities to knock guys into the lava, and not only effective, it's a lot of fun. What's she missing in this picture? There's something missing. I can't put my finger on it. Okay. The kill count strategy. I mentioned this earlier. Because you get 13 points per kill, that does open up another tactic to use in playing College of Corruption, and that's just the you know, the bash the enemy down. Just get out there and kill guys, because unlike most scenarios where you're only getting 2 points per kill, you can win off of kills here, and again do it rather expeditiously. Okay, now at this point we've already lost. I wanted to put this, exactly why I put this segment of video in here, because all of order went left. And when you go left, now watch this though, I have a little bit of fun. This of course cost me eventually, but 16 seconds into this scenario, Destruction has captured the squishy core. They got out there. 16 seconds, and they've locked the core. Why? Because all our guys are screwing around going to the second floor. Oh, trust me, this was the high point of this particular SC for me, knocking that guy into the lava. I keep interrupting myself, but the point I'm making is that all of order went left, which puts them on the second floor They then have to run to the center, the hole in the middle of the floor in the center, and drop down like firemen without a pole. It takes too much time. Okay, too much time. And this is an exact illustration of what I was talking about earlier, and that the mechanics of this scenario are unforgiving. You let your enemy get out here like this, you let them capture the squishy core in 16 seconds, and this is what happens. Look at them, they're going up to the second floor, and here's the, I put the screenshot up just to show how decisive that was. 500 to 13, that was 2 minutes later. 2 minutes later, okay? So again, if you're playing Order, get out of your spawn point, go right, and get to the flag, and at least try to prevent this. Okay, now here's some other things that will help to lose you the scenario. Number one, where is everybody? Okay, why am I the only one out here at this point? You know, every Order player in the scenario could be right here with me at this moment, but they're screwing around, doing something, I don't know. Okay. Now I'm in the middle trying to make, a valiant effort. I'm a little outnumbered here. But there is a small tactic I'm using. Just by backing up, I can keep the witch elf off my back just by using the design of the pit right there. And you can see she eventually gives up, heads off for somebody else. They're all going to come in here and knock me out, but now there's another punt. That's why I let this video in. Just I was able to knock another guy into the lava. Now they give me an opportunity to survive here for a moment, so I'm going to go up and keep my back away from them by using the doorway there. Now eventually they get me, but I wanted to leave this in for another reason. Okay, watch the respawn. Okay, here comes Order again. They're coming back in. They used the right portal to get here, but they all stopped on the balcony. Okay, they stopped on the balcony, and you might as well just hand your enemy the win, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Okay, now this illustrates another path that you can take to get down to the main battle area if you wish. Run down the stairs, and as yet there's no score, so I came into this one a little bit late. The thing had started like 30 seconds or something, but so I jumped down through the pit and insert myself into the fight. Now this was a good stand-up fight, capturing the squishy core. Both sides get that message when neither one has done so, but this was a good stand-up fight. It was kind of even. The scenario was a bit balanced, so you can see at the moment it's only 13-0. Now there's a blackguard punt, and this is what I was talking about earlier. That's, the punt actually did me a favor because it sent me over the lava as opposed to dropping me into it. Alright, doing a little bit of witch elf chasing here, and can't tell who that is at the moment, but anyway, she gets her just desserts there. Okay, so we're still capturing the squishy core and kind of chasing each other around. I'm trying to do here is line up another punt. I mean, let's see. Yep, there we go. That was another good one. Now, please don't anyone misunderstand. I'm not putting those in here to try to make the point, hey, look at me, hey, look at how good I am. I don't mean it that way. And if it comes across that way, I really don't mean it that way. I'm putting it in here to show you that if I can do this, so can you. If you have a knockback, you can use it quite effectively in this scenario. And you can have a little bit of fun with it. Now, they may or may not die. Look, I get a 2-for-1 on that one. But, the people you punt in there may or may not die. Because you can jump your way out of the lava here. But at the very least, it does damage to them, and it takes them out of the fight for whatever amount of time it takes them to get out of there. Now watch the positioning fight here. I thought this was kind of fun when it was going on. Oh, Azel, whatever his name is. You know, he was, I could tell when this fight was going on that he was desperately trying to get us between him and the lava. And we all did a nice little bit of maneuver there just to prevent him from doing that, and we didn't fall for that trap. Now you see the barrier. If you're dominating a scenario like this, don't go to the barrier. You know, don't go up there. I've said this many times in my videos. Don't go up there. You know, there's no point to it. Plus, here in College Corruption, if you do, the destruction champs will come out and just, you know, smash your face in. So, okay, one more point to illustrate real quick. This is one of the barriers that RoR uses to get down into the combat area, and as you can see, it is possible for your opposition to attack through the barrier. If you're standing, you know, next to it or close to it. Look at that little scummy little witch elf there, sticking her knife through the barrier. So I just wanted to make folks aware of that, you know, if you're not going to go through, don't just stand there, because you'll get attacked anyway. Okay, let's do our final review. And this is a fun SC. I mean, I've really enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun playing it, but the major points are, for order, when you leave your spawn point, use the right portal, blow through, keep moving, and get to the flag. As I said, there's no time to mess around here. No time to screw around going anywhere else except straight to the flag as fast as you can get there, because the SC is unforgiving. You allow your opposition to take the middle, and all other things being equal, you don't have the time. The scoring mechanics and the time, the minimal time that's necessary to rack up a score, it's just unforgiving. You've got to get out there and fight, at the very least. Fight for the mid. You saw you can take the squishy core in as little as 16 seconds here if your opposition allows you to do that. Alright, once you get to the squishy core, you hug and hold the flag, try to flip it. You know, 30 points is fine, but that's kind of that's kind of incidental to the fact that the points add up very fast. You can employ, you know, the melee train kill strategy here. Just run around and, you know, bash your opponents 13 points each. That's going to help very quickly. The knockbacks are fun in this SC. They're, you know, this SC actually favors those of us who have the simple knockback, as opposed to, you know, those of you who have the big long super punt. And as I illustrated, you can line those up, get your position, and have a little fun with them. And then finally, you can win this scenario. And I put one of these in, one of the video segments illustrated this. You can win the scenario in as little as 2.5 minutes. Now, of course, that's given that your opposition just lets you get out there and capture the flag without doing anything about it. But it is possible to win this one very quickly. So, make a fight of it, guys. Get out there and at very least contest the middle. You may not always win, but as I always say, you will be in the better position to help you win, and that's what we all want. Okay, guys, that does it. One day after the scenario come out or was released, I got a nice little video out here, I think, and but this does bring us to the end. So episode 19, I believe what I'm going to do is once again put Logrun's Forge off, and I'll look at Reikland Hills. I've also had a lot of fun with Reikland Hills yesterday, and I've got, I don't know, maybe a dozen videos of that one. So I'll do Reikland Hills. I'll get it out as quick as I can, you know, because the event's going on, and it's a new SC and all that. So as always, I do appreciate your time. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.
Ieri você aqui. Ieri vadrivoi.